Hey guys, welcome to complete revision of current affairs. Today we are going to cover current affairs from 15th February to 21st February. Let's take a look at some news in short, current affairs in short. Indian Railway to set up country's biggest wrestling academy. Ministry of Railways has approved to set up a state-of-art wrestling academy in Indian Railways at Kishanganj, Delhi. The wrestling academy will be the biggest in India and equipped with advanced training facilities to promote sports of wrestling in the country. We know that wrestling is an important event for us. We really have some really good wrestlers too. And with that respect, this will help in building sporting culture for wrestling in India. In next news, Israel became first country to allow drones in civilian airspace. First country. That's why this becomes very important. You could have options in the examination which are saying that maybe the first country is US, Japan, or even UK or some other high-tech countries. But that's why this bit becomes important. It could be confusing to you. So please note that it is Israel that has allowed drones in civilian airspace. Israel becomes the first ever country to allow drone flights in civilian airspace. The certification was issued to Hermes Starliner. It's not really that important to know the name, but you can just see it by the Israeli Civil Aviation Authority and was manufactured and developed by Elbit Systems. So you may remember the name of this. Again, this name is not important. Okay. Regarding Israel, there is one very interesting fact. Israel has something called as Iron Dome. If you want, you can take a look at it. It is state-of-the-art defense system for Israel. Next news, Germany re-elects President Frank-Walter Steinmeier for second term. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier has been re-elected for a second term of 5 years by a special parliamentary assembly. This is also the final term for Steinmeier, which he won with 71% of vote. Now, Germany is important to us because it is a major trade partner and one of the most powerful countries. So that's why keeping an eye out for this is important. In case of people, you can see that sometimes you're given pictures and you're given a description of a person. And then they ask you to guess who the person is. You'd be having some options in which you have 4 names. Okay, so you can see here a very interesting concept of knowing the names. Steinmeier. So there are some names which are typically belonging to one particular region, though in globalized world it is not very easy to comment on that. However, what you can do is, in case there are different names and you have some understanding of the surnames or in general what kind of names people of a particular country have, you can try and eliminate that way. Okay, moving on. Again, this is another person in news, and it's very important for us as Indians too. Ilkar Aichi named as MD and CEO of Air India. Okay, so we know that our Air India was struggling financially. It was a loss-making venture, and now it has been sold. And Ilkar Aichi will be the new CEO and MD of Air India. What he did before and all is not really all that important, but what is important is you know the name and the face of this guy. ISRO successfully launches Earth Observation Satellite, commonly known as EOS. Okay. Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, successfully launched an Earth Observation Satellite EOS-4 and 2 small satellites into the intended orbit. This was the first launch mission of ISRO in year 2022. So it's not really very important, okay, that it was the first in this year. That's not really important. The satellites were launched on board the launch vehicle PSLV. Okay, this is our very specialized launch vehicle and a very sturdy one. It has been going on for quite a few decades now, and it has been performing splendidly. So if you want to read just out of curiosity, you can read a little bit about PSLV. And Satish Dhawan Space Center is important for us because it is the launch pad for a lot of our missions. It is in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. FM Sitaraman launches first color souvenir coin on Panchtantra. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman has launched the first color souvenir coin on Panchtantra on the occasion of 17th Foundation of Security, Printing and Minting Corporation of India Limited. You may take a look at what is SPMCIL if you wish to. Okay, so this is important because this is first, right? That's why it is very important. And souvenir coin means something that is a memorabilia. So basically something to remember an event by. Okay, so this can become an important question for you guys. Next, Dabur becomes first Indian plastic waste neutral FMCG company. It is first Indian plastic waste neutral FMCG company. Okay, this is very important because Dabur happens to be one of the oldest homegrown companies in India, and it also specializes especially in Ayurveda, right? So that means that it's not only a point of pride with us Indians, but it has a major contribution towards holistic healing and towards the use of naturopathy for treatment, right? So that's why this becomes important to us. Dabur India has become the first Indian consumer goods company to become completely plastic waste neutral. Completely. Okay. This is very important. You might feel that nahi kuch to plastic use hota hoga. वैसा नहीं सोचना है. So because here it is news because it is completely plastic waste neutral. Okay. It has done this by collecting, processing and recycling around 27,000 metric tons of post-consumer plastic waste during fiscal year 21 to 22. Now, here you may take away some good information from here or some learning from here that they are plastic neutral by doing what? So it's not like they are not using plastic, but what they are doing is they are collecting the plastic as well, right? Then they are processing the collected plastic and then they are recycling. That is how they are becoming plastic neutral, not by avoiding the use of plastic, but by taking responsibility. Okay, responsibility for the trash that they are generating, and that is why it's a good thing because alternative to plastics will come later, they'll become affordable later, but whatever we have right now, that should be handled in a good manner. That is the key mitigation strategy to handle plastic pollution today. Okay. Next, Terry's World Sustainable Development Summit begins. Okay. Now, why? Because sustainable development is a very important theme, recurring theme in many international platforms. Okay. So, हमें themes usually पता होनी चाहिए. Terry is also very respected as a body, and that's why this bit of news becomes important to us. Okay, most important thing is what is the theme. Okay, तो हर बार जब summits होते हैं या फिर जब कोई conferences होती है, तो a lot of times you have some theme. Sometimes they give a title, a subtitle, or something of that sort. Okay, so for important summits and important conferences, it is good to know what they are exactly planning to do. Okay, what they're exactly focusing on, which is reflected by their title. So the only thing that we have to remember here is that the theme for the year's summit is towards a resilient planet, ensuring a sustainable and equitable future. That's it. Okay. Bengali singer Sandhya Mukherjee passes away. Now again, this is a person, and that's why a person of interest for us because of one particular thing she did. Okay, we'll see. Legendary Bengali singer Sandhya Mukherjee has passed away at the age of 90 years due to cardiac arrest. Her full name was Geetashri Sandhya Mukhopadhyay. She had recently refused to accept the Padma Award from the central government that was awarded in January 2022. She told him that the Padma Shri is not an award that should be conferred on a veteran like her. It would be demeaning for her to accept it. She was born in Kolkata, and the rest of the details are really not all that much important to us. But she is a person of interest because she recently refused the Padma Award, which is a very important civilian award, right? And therefore, we can say that she could be one of the testing topics for you guys. So remember the phase. G. Ashok Kumar named as India's first National Maritime Security Coordinator. Now, why is this important? Because it is first. So there is some kind of change in the defense structure of our country, and it is good for us to know that, because again, a person of interest, right? Since he's the first National Maritime Security Coordinator, that means that this office has been recently created. Okay, so valid question ban sakta hai ki who is the first National Maritime Security Coordinator? Answer is G. Ashok Kumar. Okay, let's take a look. Retired Vice Admiral G. Ashok Kumar has been appointed as India's first National Maritime Security Coordinator by the government. The government of India has taken decisive move to ensure reliability on security, and its objective to strengthen the country's maritime security, which is why they need an office which is especially responsible to this task. Okay. The appointment of G. Ashok Kumar, who is a former Navy Vice Chief, is seen as a part of India's consistent effort to bolster its maritime security following the 26/11 Taj attacks, Taj or Mumbai attacks, basically 14 years back. Okay. The terrorist had come via sea, and it was the city like Mumbai, बहुत उसके influential कुछ hotels and बहुत ज़्यादा influential areas, they were under siege. We lost very good brave souls fighting for our country that time, but this could have been avoided if we had a better maritime security, right? So that is what we are focusing on. The NMSC, National Maritime Security Coordinator, will be working in coordination with National Security Council Secretariat, which is headed by NSA Ajit Doval. Again, a very famous personality. Okay. Next, JP Morgan becomes first bank to enter the metaverse. Why is this important? First of all, it is one of the most prominent banks, and we would never have thought that businesses would start coming up in metaverse, such businesses. Okay, so this is very interesting, and since it is first, so anything that is first in a significant manner will have to be given due credit and importance with respect to the examination. So JP Morgan has become the world's first bank to set up shop in the metaverse. So they have actually set up shop. That means they will be conducting business on metaverse. Okay. The largest bank in the US has opened a lounge in the blockchain-based world, Decentraland. Users can create their virtual avatars, build virtual spaces, and roam in the lounge, christened as Onyx Lounge, after its suite of Ethereum-based services. The lounge also features a digital image of the bank's CEO, Jamie Dimon. Now, here this could become a topic of debate, which is good for you guys to also make your brain work a little bit. So what you can think of is whether this kind of banking structure should be allowed or not. Okay, we are dealing in cryptocurrency already. We know how difficult it is to handle cryptocurrency in itself. And now a virtual banking on a blockchain based world also will give rise to similar concerns as that of a cryptocurrency. But we have to mind that this is a bank. It has a lot of money. And if we don't know where the money is going, it could be a threat to our security, right? Global security. Or maybe then we can come up with some regulations so that they are not given a free hand entirely. So there could be two sides to this debate. Try and have a debate with your peers on this. Next, RBI extended deadline for NBFCs to meet new NPA upgradation norm. Now here, the extension of deadline is not important. Okay. What we're trying to get acquainted with is the definitions of some words. So this piece of news is simply there in case you are not aware of some words that are here in this piece of news. It would be prudent for you to go and check out the meanings, check out exactly what they are. Okay. So RBI to pata hi hoga, Reserve Bank of India has extended deadline for non-banking financial companies. Now, what are these companies? Okay, which companies fall under this? Just out of general curiosity, you can take a look. To comply with non-performing assets. Now, what are NPAs? Because this could be a topic of debate or VAT or interview questions. Okay, simply because NPAs are very much in news. India has been struggling with NPAs. We have a lot of banks who are not able to recover their loans, and their assets are getting converted to NPAs. And then what happens is the government has to bail them out. Okay, so that means that businesses are not entirely independent of the government, and government is not entirely shielded from the risk that the businesses are taking. That's why it becomes important. So you can take a look at this non-performing asset kya hota hai. Okay. As per the prudential norms on income recognition, asset classification, and provision pertaining to advances clarifications, which was issued by RBI on November 15, 2021, the loan accounts that are classified as NPAs could be upgraded as standard assets only if entire arrears of interest and principal are paid by the borrower. We don't really have to go into a lot of technicality, but this news, as I said, for the definition of NBFCs and NPA is why we are having this news here. You may take a look in depth if you want to. Next, Chelsea wins 2021 FIFA Club World Cup Championship. Now, why is this news important? Because Chelsea has won the FIFA Club World Cup for the very first time. Okay, so again, this is history, and that's why history in making rather, and that's why you should know that it is an English club, and it has. You don't really need to know what it defeated and all, but since it is a part of the news, you may take a look. The Brazilian club Palmeiras को इन्होंने हराया. ठीक है. Next, Nepal will become first country to deploy India's UPI platform. Again, very important for us, right? Why? Because this is a homegrown platform. Okay. Nepal will be the first country to adopt India's UPI system, which will play a pivotal role in transforming the digital economy of the neighboring country. The National Payments Corporation of India said. Okay. So, ये क्या है? NPCI. This is basically the one that is allowing us to have all these online transactions. Okay. NPCI International Payments Limited, the international arm of NPCI, has joined hands with Gateway Payment Services (GPS) and Manam Infotech. Not necessarily important. GPS is the authorized payment operator in Nepal, so this could become a point of interest, but it will be still a little too much depth. So you can just know that it is called GPS, but no need to personally revise or something. Okay. Next, SBI Eco Rap Report. Okay. Why? Because SBI is the largest bank, obviously, and that's why its reports are important to us, especially when it is saying something about India's GDP. Okay. Projected at 8.8 in financial year 22. State Bank of India (SBI) का रिपोर्ट क्या कहता है कि हमारा ग्रोथ जो रहेगा फॉर FY 2022, it will be 8.8%. ठीक है. Earlier it was estimated to be 9.3%, and GDP to grow at 5.8% in third quarter. Not necessary for you to remember, just have an idea. Okay. So basically, our projections have been you can say whatever we were projecting before, we're coming down on that number. Okay. So that's all from me, guys, for today. We will keep learning a lot of such current affair tidbits together. If you need any kind of training for joining your dream B school, or if you're targeting some examinations where you have to give an exam for the B school, then you're more than welcome to join Tarkashastra. We provide all the solutions that you could possibly want, and we also make sure that we help you till you are getting the admission. Okay, so just check us out whenever you feel like. See you. That's all from me. Bye.